I went through a whole video without even recording, right? A whole speech without even recording. So anyhow, I'm doing this video because it is going on 5:30. I've been trying to call my son. He has not been answering his phone. I've been calling him since 4 o'clock because he gets out of school at 3:38, and um, I've been trying to contact him. I don't know if he went to school, if he went to after school, but after school ends at 5. I call him back at 5. No response. His mom called him. No response. So it's a couple things that happened, right, between last night and today. So yesterday he got into an altercation with a kid. He gets out of class. This kid pushes him, right? Just literally pushes him. So he pushes the kid back. The kid push him back again, and they get into a fight. Okay. Now obviously he didn't start the fight. The kid did. So the kid get into trouble. He did not. Right. They called his mom. She went and picked him up from school, and I guess they wanted me to go because she calls me, right? But I was busy doing, I had some things I was doing, so I really couldn't. So I asked her, I said, "You going to go get him?" She said, "Yes, she's going to go get him." I'm like, okay, fine. So, um, I spoke to him yesterday when he got home and asked him what happened. So he told me what happened. So I said to him, I said, I'm glad that you defend yourself, okay? Because too many times I've been up to that school where kids would bully him, and I always tell him, I said, if kids are bullying you, tell the teacher, right? And he always tells the teacher, but nothing is being done. Nothing is being done, okay? Nothing at all. And recently, and again, just to prove my point, um, there was a school teacher, there was a substitute teacher, who was egging on these kids to fight, right? Now, we always talk about bullying in school and the harm that it does to kids that are being bullied, right? But what we don't talk about is the faculty members who encourage it, is the faculty member who play favorites, right, with these kids, okay? And this, in turn, okay, coupled with the upbringing of these kids, whether they be from religious background, because we know kids of religious background will target other kids who don't have the same religious background as them, because again, we as individuals need to understand that there are adults who are religious fanatics, and they raise their children to be religious fanatics. And if you're not religious, your child's not religious, they will bully you, and they will bully your child, and they will use their children to bully your child, even use their children to bully you too, psychologically, right? So it's called mobbing, right? Mobbing in society. So anyhow, I called him at 4 o'clock, right? Because I know he gets at 3:38. And this is, he goes to Mega Evers preparatory school. Okay, you guys see me. I've done videos plenty of times going there, um, you know, for the fact that they were bullying him. Right. So now that he's getting older, he's getting taller, bigger, he's defending himself. And I always tell him, I said, never start a fight. Don't put your hands on nobody. I said, if they're bothering you, go and tell the teacher. And if that doesn't work, if they bother you again, if they put their hands on you again, then you have a right to defend yourself. I said, even if you don't go tell the teacher, if they hit you first, you have a right to defend yourself, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and teach my children to turn the other cheek, okay? I'm not doing that shit. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we have created within the minds of black Negropean people. I would say not black people, because I'm a black person. I'm damn sure ain't turning no cheek uh, from what these people are doing. This is why I expose them. Okay, um, and that's another form of not turning the cheek, right? Because you expose them. But if they physically hit you, what have you, physically assault you, you have a right to physically assault them as well to defend yourself. Okay, so anyhow, so I was talking to him last night, and I said to him, I'm glad that that you've defended yourself. I said, but what did I always tell you? I said, whenever also, I said, also, if you see other kids within the school being bullied, then you need to stand up for them. You need to stand up to the bullies. You need to stand by kids you see being bullied, and let the bullies know that they're gonna have a problem if they continue to bully other kids, right? And they don't like that. They don't like that at all. And so last night when I was watching a video, there was somebody in the video mentioned child abuse, or have you, right? And so, they start with, I can't remember if it was using the police siren or the car honking again, what have you. But anyhow, they don't want that, right? They don't want that because, again, these religious fanatics think that they can do whatever they want to do to you, and because they have embedded themselves within the police departments, and created, have these little cults running around thinking that they can do whatever to anybody. This is what they're doing. So people that don't defend themselves, that's what they want. They don't want you to defend yourself at all, right? Because they know if more and more people start to defend themselves against the mobbing, against the bullying in society, that eventually is going to bring attention, and then eventually the attention is going to be on them, and they don't want that. So anyhow, so I called him at 3:50 something, right? Minutes to 4, because I know he gets out, right? So anyhow, then I received this call at 4 p.m. Right? So again, I talk about try to use the number 32. It doesn't affect me anymore, but they still try to bring it up from time to time, which is what they did today. So at 4 o'clock, right? And then I called my son again at 4:15, and what happened a few minutes later? I get the same call again. Now I talk about what they'll do is they'll mask their targeting, right? So I call them again, but they're not going to call back. They're not going to use that number to call back again, because again it'll show a series of patterns. And just in case, if I do a video, which I'm doing right now, I won't be able to show a pattern of harassment, right? But we know this is what the FBI used to do, with um, getting calls from anonymous number or different numbers. A lot of times I get calls from numbers from China. It's like, well, even if you move to China, we're still going to target you, right? Or move to China, you know what I'm saying? Or even Russia, you know what I'm saying? So that's just to tell you how they are. And as soon as I say China, they start hearing they use the police sirens again in the background. But again, at very low volumes now. They're being very, very subtle with the sirens, right? With the noise campaign, right? Though the frequency is still there, but the subtlety of it is very, very subtle in order to not bring attention, right? But they know that my ears have been trained to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they do what they do. And like I said, I understand their tactics, their methods. This is why, like I said, my ears are trained to it, because they've been doing this to me for years. Okay, years. So for people who may not know, they wouldn't even pick up on it, because again, the volume is so low, even though the frequency is still the frequency in terms of the how much during the day they'll start using the sirens or what have you, is still a lot, right? So I'm going to play the voicemail. Okay, so why is this, again, why is this with the whole water business, what have you? I think what it is that they're doing, right? And like I said, because they have you, when they condition you a certain way, you think a certain way, right? So sometimes you may get it right, sometimes you may get it wrong. You never know, right? But like I said, it could either be two things, right? Me not getting in contact with my son is because they are, I don't know if anything happened to him right now, because again, I have no way of contacting him. I've been trying to reach him since 4 o'clock. He has not returned my call. He has not returned his mother call. He has not answered the phone, right? Then on top of that, they're again using the police sirens, right? Every time I call him. So coupled with the fact that I'm teaching my son to not turn the other cheek, to stand up to bullies, and if you see other people being bullied, you need to stand up to them. This is what they don't want. They don't want this. This is why adults today, they will see young people doing wrong and not say anything. They will literally, and it could be very young kids, teenagers, right? Young kids, as young as 10, 11, 12, and would not say anything to them, right? Because what they're doing is that they are weaponizing our kids against us and each other, and they have weaponized us against our kids and each other, right? And particularly since we don't teach our young people anything anymore. Okay, this is what they've been doing. Okay, it's another Ti who's always they've been attacking her heavily too. But anyhow, I'm going to try to call him again, see if he answer or have you. If not, I'm gonna do another video. Okay, all right.